Happy Pasta Thursday? Oh boy, man. Tonight should be pasta night for everyone. Unless you don't like eating pasta, then I guess you can have maybe a taco. If you miss Taco Tuesday, yeah, just do that. I mean, Thursday begins with a T, Tuesday begins with a T. If you had pasta on Taco Tuesday, then you might as well have tacos on Pasta Thursday, right? Or maybe you're going to dive into an early holiday weekend for those of you celebrating Labor Day. What is it? 3-4 day weekend for a lot of you all, which is definitely good. Maybe get some thirsty Thursday type drinks. We have a lot to talk about in this video. Not to mention on screen, we're just going to be doing some easy AFKing like Slayer, like old style RuneScape, just like, you know, just like when I say AFKing Slayer, I mean like just really AFKing Slayer. I got a what task am I on? Let's see. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff in this video, ranging from Slayer to my back. Yes, I said my back. Karaska. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Talking about Araxxor 2? Ooh, Araxxor. Ooh, yes, Araxxor talk. And yeah. Okay, so firstly, really quickly, just some reiteration as I multitask here, and also my brain hasn't fully turned on yet. Trying to really limit the amount of caffeine that I'm kind of really intaking, because believe it or not, I was up to drinking like 10 to 14 cups a week. I've cut it down significantly, down to probably about maybe 4 or 5 a week. The first week of being like decaffeinated, because I did go cold turkey. I don't suggest doing that ever. Brothers and sisters, don't ever get off the caffeine cold turkey. It's worse than anything. All right, so we're just going to be AFKing these things. I don't really think these things are going to be messing me up all that much, but I got to find them first of all. Are these? Okay, there we go. Let me drink my newbie little strength potion. Come on, hello, mister. Oh, you're a big fella, huh? These things are moneymakers too. Okay, so like I said, doing some recap really quick because I want to keep the recap to these videos relatively relatively short and simple, rather than long. Thank you all for watching these videos, subscribing, commenting, getting tremendous amount of great feedback as well. This is episode 6, I believe. Hopefully it's episode 6. Yeah, it should be episode are we on 6? It's definitely not 7. Come on. Hang on. Yeah, it should be 6. So I'm going to stick with this series and see. Yep, so this is EP 6. Going to stick with the series and see where this series really takes us for about a month. And after a month, we're gonna do kind of like a recap in a way, and really see where we're at with how you guys feel about the podcast series, and just kind of really just go over some things. But a lot of you all have definitely reached out to me and said, hey, this series is awesome to listen to. I keep reminding you all to drive safe, because some of you all are like, hey, I'm listening to this series as I'm driving, which might be a little nerve-wracking, especially if you're trying to play RuneScape. Like I've logged on during some we need full driving capability, man. I do not own a Tesla yet, but if Tesla are Teslas full FSD, full self-driving, I think a lot of them are. But once every vehicle becomes like FSD, we can play RuneScape while driving. Think about the EXP gains. It's going to be so good. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to continue the series for another 3 weeks. And then after about a month, we'll do some recap and stuff and see where we're at, see how the views on these pods are really going and stuff like that. This Saturday, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing, if it's going to be GP related or I might actually have an interview lined up. I do have actually a few people that I am scheduling for some interviews, which is going to be significantly awesome. I do believe. One, I've been mentioning the HDOS because I'm using HDOS client right now. HDOS founders, creators. I would like to do an interview with them, basically get their feedback. You know, what motivated them to make a badass client. This client is awesome. And it makes you feel like you are back in 2009 of Runescape. It's pretty good, man. I've enjoyed myself. Besides that, yeah, that's pretty much about it for the recap. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Araxxor. That's really the only update that pretty much came out from the old school RuneScape team. Otherwise, back related, very quickly. So I haven't deadlifted in years now. I ended up blowing out both my knees. I had a really bad knee injury May of it's April 2021. Completely just utterly messed me up. And I was squatting. Well, it wasn't deadlifting, but a few days ago I ended up attempting to deadlift for the first time in years like a dum-dum. Didn't really have any, like, you know, significant weight and stuff. Just really was doing it kind of like a warm-up, I guess. My lower back has been utterly killing me. Killing me in the sense that I actually thought it was a spinal issue. I ended up hitting up my doctor, and she had me come in for some x-rays. The structural is all there, so it's definitely not... Yeah, I honestly thought it was a herniated disc or something because it was burning. And a couple of my friends were like, hey, it's happened to them before where your lower back muscles that you haven't used in years get activated and they pretty much like become inflamed. My at-home remedies are not working, and my at-home remedies consist of some gin and tonic water. If any of you all out there, because I am actually scrolling through the comments of these videos. I don't have time to reply to all of them, but I do see them, and a lot of great feedback, especially podcast related. But if any of you crazy bodybuilders out there have any at-home remedies for people that are getting back into doing an exercise, I guess, and just kind of really tear some it feels terrible, man. Like I got my hand right now behind my back because like in my lower spine area it's like just burning. This sucks. And I gotta be in front of my damn computer all day. So it's definitely not helping at all. But yeah, I would love to know some at-home remedies, ice, heat. I've been doing that, but otherwise, two of my friends, they're like, yeah, just, you know, you got to stick it out for the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Anyone seen The Money Pit? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 6 weeks now. The mother humpers. Woo! Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the intro for this video. And yeah, we're under 10 minutes. Woohoo! Okay, so obviously I reached my intro goal here. Ooh, some white berries. These things are moneymakers. Did I say that? Okay, let me go ahead and pull up some stuff. Because before we dive into this video, really just want to go over some things really quickly. So let's cover the pretty much the obvious really quickly, right? Let's go ahead and get some obvious things out of the way. This may not actually work here. Hang on. Yeah, this actually may not work. Okay. We gotta go to a safe spot. Go safe spot, Nightmare. Okay, yeah. AFKing during the talking point of this video is is definitely not going to work. I'm going to get my bum canned. Not to mention, I'm probably going to miss like a loot drop in a way. Okay. So, obviously, the talk of old school RuneScape is Araxxor. Araxxor finally came to old school RuneScape. That's awesome. I actually had some of my clan members yesterday. They ended up getting drops. They ended up making a decent amount of GP. I'll show those momentarily. But Araxxor is out. I'm pretty sure anyone who is hardcore into Araxxor and Slayer, you're definitely going to have already read this update. Not to mention, I made a video on this over a month ago. Other changes, PvP world. Ooh, let me see this. PvP has moved. PvP is like practically dead. It's kind of really sad. Okay, so that's one thing that I did want to show. Obviously, let's get that out of the way for Araxxor. So I have actually made progress on this game because my Slayer level right now, I'm probably going to be 83 Slayer today. And my Slayer level is actually very relevant for the main talking point of this video. If I didn't already say, all my links are down below in the bung bar or section below. My Discord link, all my other links, social media. So if you guys want to, the only, and I think that maybe I have said this, maybe I haven't. If you see me on RuneScape, and I am a fairly talkative human being, even when I was at my YouTube Prime, when I was getting the most views back in middle of 2012, even though I wasn't the most subscribed RuneScape channel then, most subscribed RuneScape channel from middle of 2010 up until late 2021, but the most views that I was getting was actually like around summer of 2012. And then the beta came out for EOC, and that just, things just went downhill for all RuneScape content creators. But I would still reply to, people. But if I'm busy on this game, don't take that as a sign of like disrespect. It's just, if you see me on this game and I don't reply, it's because I am doing something else, or maybe I'm like temporarily like AFK and stuff. Like if somebody found me right now in this Slayer dungeon and replied to me, damn, it burns. I'm definitely gonna have some gin tonics tonight. Screw this. Back issues. I really should have grabbed an ice pack. Obviously, I'm busy right now making this podcast. So if you see me on RuneScape and I don't reply, it's just, I'm a little busy. It's my friend's chat is open. My friend's chat's actually coming back alive actually a little bit. Was talking to some people yesterday in there. My old school RuneScape clan is where the majority of talking happens. If you come on my Discord server and if you ping me, I will eventually reply. But like I said, just please be patient. And of course, the impatient people, they get, phased out. And if you're a good person looking for a good conversation or good communication, you got nothing to worry about. But I made this video, a couple months ago, actually 4 months ago, and I was 76 Slayer. So I've definitely made progress, but it wasn't enough progress, man. Like, I'm about to be 83 Slayer. I really was hoping to get, like, 90-something Slayer. I think it's 90, what was it, 92 or 94 Slayer? It's whatever it is. And it just wasn't feasible, especially for me in my schedule. I wonder if Araxxor is actually on here. Monsters, Slayer Masters, Equipment, Monsters. Yeah, so 92. There is no way in hell. Like, it's not, feasible for me. Obviously, for a lot of people on this game, I'm sure they could go to 76 to 92 in a heartbeat. Years ago, I definitely could have, but in this day and age, definitely cannot. So, I have made progress, though. I will say that. Now, the old school RuneScape team released this video, which I suggest everyone go and watch. It's actually a really good video on their YouTube channel. And it basically dives into fighting Araxxor, or the title of the video is everything you need to know about Araxxor. And yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It's on the old school RuneScape channel. It's also on their update, form that I posted, which is definitely good. This is one of the updates from the old school RuneScape team, which is doing a great job, especially for this game. Now, there is one thing that I do want to bring up, and I didn't even realize this. It's a little crazy in a way. Well, actually, it's not necessarily crazy, but a clan member of mine mentioned this. So I didn't realize how many spiders, dangerous spiders, angry spiders on old school RuneScape we actually had. So I may butcher some of these names, but screw it. Let's go ahead and see. Sarachinnis? Sarachinnis. I think that's actually how to pronounce that. Araxxor, obviously Araxxor. Oh, boy. Virtue. I actually never knew about this thing. Ugh. What are you? You look like something out of the, mermaid. Doesn't this thing look like the bad doodad or the bad octopus in the Little Mermaid? Well, what's her name? Olga, Aga. Now I gotta look it up, man. Hang on, right after we get done with this. So I didn't even realize this was on old school RuneScape. I didn't even realize. I've never done Theater of Blood. I've done Cox, and I've done the new one. I'm having a train of thought. Not Tomb of Blood. Theater of Blood. What's the new one called? Damn, now I'm going to get floods of comments saying my brain doesn't work. I guess this one's also in Theater of Blood. And then, of course, it's Vanitas? Hopefully. I have actually fought this doodad. But apparently now we got primarily 3 spider bosses on this game. So did we really need a new spider boss? I mean, hey, you want to know what? I actually thought adding Araxxor to this game was something they probably should have done a while ago. But yeah, so that's really my Araxxor talk. I would love to do Araxxor on this game. I'm probably going to get my bum handed to me. But, it would make one great, incorporated podcast type, video in a way. I'm pretty sure you all would like it. All right, so let's see. Little Mermaid. I gotta look this up right now. Little Mermaid octopus boss. Random events. Where are you? So, years ago, this dude would shoot your ass. He would actually kill you years ago. Our previous podcast actually focused on how RuneScape used to be dangerous. This guy would actually kill you, which was utterly just crazy. My timer is actually going to go off here momentarily. Gotta do a little birdhouse run. Little Mermaid octopus boss. What is her name? Ursula, yeah! That thing out of Theater of Blood looks like Ursula, man. Whoever has done Theater of Blood, does this thing look like the spider boss, whatever it is? It kind of does! Oh, back. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. I don't really think alcohol is anti-inflammatory. Maybe I should use some natural grass remedies. Oh, yeah, I can feel it. Oh, yeah. Oh, isn't there like a service that can come over to my house and massage me? Oh, that feels good. Oh. And I'm not talking about like an Asian service, you perverted wieners out there. I'm talking about like a legitimate massage service. Oh, okay. I think that's going to hold me off for a couple more minutes. Ursula. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. Ursula. I have not seen the new Little Mermaid movie. I heard it's all politically driven nonsense, which is very sad, man. That all these remakes are just so politically driven these days. Okay. Anyways, let me do this very quickly. And we're going to dive in now to really the talking points of this video. And so, real quick, banging out my goals on Slayer, because I actually was going to wait until the end of this video to really talk about what I'm personally doing with Slayer. But I'll go ahead and say now, because it's kind of relevant, especially to Araxxor. I would love to do Araxxor on this game, because one, I got an Araxxor tattoo. I also just have love for fighting Araxxor, especially on RS3. And the fact that it's on old school RuneScape now, and I'm 95% old school RuneScape to RS3 ratio, just makes it insanely better to actually do. But I'm going to get my Slayer level to 85, and I'm actually making a decent amount of GP right now. But once I get to 85, I would like to see the GP gains on doing Abbey Demon tasks. And we're going to be talking more about that here momentarily. But I want to see, because right now, I haven't done a money-making podcast like episode yet. Like an in-depth money-making podcast like episode. And it might be this Saturday. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm waiting to hear back from someone for a possible interview this Saturday. So it might be it might be this weekend, but it's definitely going to be within the next 3 weeks. And my money making method is still propelling really good GP. Like last night, I ended up watching Jack in the Box. It's a trilogy. Jack in the Box. The second one is The Awakening. Third one is Jack in the Box Rises. B-rated, movies. It's not movies that it's something. I mean, hey, if you're like a B-rated horror movie fan like me, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. But I ended up, just doing my money making method. I ended up making 1.5 mil GP an hour, which is better than if I were to do Slayer like right now. And I'm also using that Slayer Master that drops those brimstone chest keys. So I am making a decent amount of GP from there. But when it comes down to it, I want to see if whip drops are definitely like amazing, like so many people are saying. Now, if it's good GP at 85 and I'm continuing to get, momentum, probably going to continue all the way to 92, especially for the GP as well. And we'll just go ahead and see. I know we got what other levels do we got here? We got I think 87 is the big one. Kraken. Release the Kraken. And yes, I do got a Kraken tattooed on my chest. Release the Kraken. Damn, maybe I got to train Slayer at 87. But if I train Slayer to 87, I might as well go to 92. Then I might as well do 91 for Cerberus. And then I got to do 92. And then I got to go Smoke Devils. Then I got to get a Hydras. Then once I hit 95, woohoo, I might as well just go all the way. Damn. Old school RuneScape team finds ways to keep me addicted. God, I love you guys, but at the same time, I don't. Oh, back muscles again. Oh, need remedies. But otherwise, whoo! Okay, we just summed up a good portion of this podcast. So yeah, that's really my goals for Slayer. Okay, so main talking point of this podcast is going back to The Last of Us on RuneScape. And this podcast series is called The Last of Us on RuneScape for this for this reason. Because the Grand Exchange came out. I'm talking about the Grand Exchange in RS3. The Grand Exchange came out November 26, 26 November 2007. Anyone who has played RuneScape before the Grand Exchange, which is now the RS3 Grand Exchange, you're the equivalent of a old style veteran on RS3. Even though if you don't play RS3 and you play old school RuneScape, but you played before, you joined RuneScape before 26 November 2007, you are a old style RuneScape veteran. The equivalent of like a Vietnam vet. We are a dying breed. I joined RuneScape early June 2005. And I mean it's a great decision that I ended up making. If I didn't make that decision, I wouldn't be here today. But then again, so many other, things have brought me here as well. So, 26 November 2007, and Slayer was so different back then. So different. I can't believe I can't believe these videos are actually still here. One of the first videos that I ended up seeing on YouTube was by So Solid 2K. Oh, this is going to bring back some nostalgic memories for all you old RuneScapians out there. So, one of the videos that I saw was actually this one. I can't believe it's actually still uploaded. RuneScape Darkbow plus Abbey Whip drops. And this was 17 years ago. 17 years ago. Can you believe that? 17 years ago. Where did the time go? Woo! Oh boy. Let's see. This video was uploaded June 12, 2007. Where were you? June 12, 2007. June 12, 2007 for me. I was in boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp, getting my ass kicked by a bunch of Iraq and it's early Afghanistan, early Iraq veterans that was whipping my bum. But So Solid 2K was making bank on RuneScape. Think about it. Where were you during this period? And there are probably some people maybe potentially watching this video that weren't even born. That's crazy. It's actually crazy to think that there are people now joining the U.S. military that are born after 9/11, which is one of the reasons I'm a big history buff, and one of the reasons why I ended up joining the military because of 9/11. I was 13 when 9/11 happened, and I still remember that day. History is a very big thing in my life, and one of the reasons I started doing this podcast series is because The Last of Us on RuneScape, we're dying off. History is dying off on RuneScape. It really is. So ask yourself, where were you June 12th, 2007? You might have only been maybe very young, but during this time of RuneScape, getting a Abbey Whip drop, was like insane in the membrane. Like, it was just crazy during this time frame. So the main talking point of this video, how have I been talking for more than 5 minutes? Okay, that's cool. I think maybe we should just leave the background going because I think that's actually pretty awesome. Actually, no. It's let me let me log back in really quickly. This file sizes are going to be obsessively massive. Oh, but anyways, so Slayer has evolved throughout the years, and old school RuneScape is definitely now Slayerscape. And what I mean by that is that old school RuneScape, or rather, I should say, getting an Abbey Whip drop on modern day old school RuneScape is chump change. It is 1 point something mil. It is absolutely, utterly chump change, right? And I know there's going to be people watching this video laughing, saying, dude, you are literally, you want to train Slayer to go and fight Abbey Demons, a monster of the past, and make some chump chains? Yeah, I do. You want to know why? Is because I never got to experience whip drops during 2005, during 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11. I never got to experience that feeling of having a whip drop. When you would get a whip drop during, go on a time machine and go back to 2005, 6, 7 of RuneScape. Getting a 3.5 mil whip drop was a big deal. It was an insane deal, right? It was a lot of GP. So yesterday, a couple of my clan members, they ended up getting some drops. And I'm not sure how much this GP is worth. Nauseous point. I'm not even truly sure what this is, but this is a serious, like, it's definitely above 10 mil. I can go ahead and tell you that. Definitely above 10 mil. Drops my clan yesterday for Araxxor was going bananas. The Venom 500k. I don't know how much this Venom, is and stuff, but regardless, getting a whip drop on modern day RuneScape, even a dark bow, is just like laughable. It's absolutely just laughable. Nobody cares about these drops anymore. They're a thing of the past. And old school RuneScape has become Slayerscape, because now we got all these bosses that are stronger than the God Wars dungeon bosses. Isn't that insane? Insane in the membrane. Slayer bosses are now stronger than the bosses pre-EOC. Like, what is a stronger boss to fight? Araxxor or fighting Armadile? I killed Armadile in 3rd Age armor. I killed Bandos, Zami in 3rd Age armor. If I go to Araxxor in 3rd Age armor, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my ass handed to me. If I go to Saradomin, which we haven't done yet in 3rd Age, I can tank Saradomin. I know that I could. I could definitely tank Saradomin. I'm very confident, especially being max combat. Very confident I can tank Saradomin. If I try tanking Araxxor and don't use the mechanics, I'm probably going to die. These new Slayer bosses make Abbey Demons look like chump change, which is very sad. It's sad that, history has evolved, but is it good or is it bad? It's good for the game. It's bad for the nostalgic type effects and feeling. And that's why you got to really take a step back and remember the history. I actually do look back in time at like world history. And not just like America's history, because I'm a patriot for our great country, but I also look at other countries around the world and their history. Living in Europe, for those of you who don't know, I ended up having the luxury of being stationed in Stuttgart, Germany for about 2 years. And that was 2020, 2021 with the U.S. military. And I traveled a lot throughout Europe, even though it was COVID times. But I'm a very social person. I become even more sociable, very extroverted in social gatherings. And I was talking to a lot of Germans all the time, especially when I would go out to a whole bunch of bars. And they're very, yeah, if anyone's watching who's living in Germany, yeah, you guys are very history orientated too. I mean, that's all Europe. Europe is, very history orientated. There's so much history about it. The old, style of rubble, especially like in Italy and stuff, like the sidewalks are just beautiful. And I appreciate the history, and I appreciate the old style of Slayer. Because if it wasn't for the old style of Slayer, the new style of Slayer wouldn't exist. I say this a lot, and it pisses off people, and I don't know why. If it wasn't for evolution of combat, as much as people can't stand RS3, old school RuneScape would not exist. Old school RuneScape would not exist. Like, come on, man. Like, let's get real here. So, like, people are like bashing on RS3, and all the and when I was a full-time streamer, this actually feels good. Woohoo! I would say that all the time, and it would trigger so many people. And I just like, it's the truth. You gotta appreciate the old style of Slayer. You gotta appreciate the little things on this game. And for me, something that's going to be huge in my accomplishments, my achievements on this game, is getting an Abbey whip as a drop. Seeing that Abbey whip is going to put my brain into like watching So Solid 2K's video. It's going to bring back memories. But yes, doing an Abbey Demon task on 2024 Old School RuneScape is chump change. Old School RuneScape is Slayerscape. Everything is about Slayer bosses. Everything is about raids. RS3 is all about high level PVM. That's hands down. Do we have Slayer bosses in RS3? Now RS3 is a little different. We got like you got Reaper, very similar to Old School RuneScape in a way. But on RS3 you can get like boss, Slayer type things, but even like the Slayer, like the high level Slayer, I ended up getting 120 Slayer during double EXP weekend, and I wasn't doing any of the new insane Slayer bosses. I was doing a lot of, I was definitely doing a lot of high level Slayer peeps, but they weren't like some of the crazy ones like Ripper Demons. If any of you know of the bosses I'm talking about in RS3, those things can slice and dice your bumhole. Yeah. However, Old School RuneScape is so much Slayerscape, and it's not a bad thing. But you got to appreciate the little things and take the time, especially for all these new players on this game that have never lived through the experience of getting an Abbey whip drop back in 2007, and they're like, yo, I just made 3 mil. 3 mil back in 2007 is probably the equivalent to maybe like 150 mil modern day Old School RuneScape. It's a big deal. So to all my fellow clan members, to all my fellow RuneScapians out there, if you got a Araxxor drop yesterday, think about what that drop is valued at if you were to go back in time to 2007, 6, 5, 4. When did Abbey Whips come out? I think I already looked this up. Let me go ahead and see this very, very quickly. Please don't say anything naughty for this video. Hi. I know some of you guys say bad things. Can't chance it. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, RuneScape 3 Abbey Demons. Let me look this up. RuneScape 3 Abbey Demons. When did you come out? Abyssal Demons. What are we at for time frame for this video? Let's go ahead and see. How long have I been talking for? Oh, good chunk of this video. That's good. That's what I love to see. Hopefully you all are loving, like I said, loving this content. Abbey Demons came out. So Abbey Demons came out. This is actually pretty crazy. 2005. 2005 RuneScape, Abbey Demons came out. History. Abbey Demons are among, I'm not even going to pronounce that word, race of demons. I wasn't even playing RuneScape when Abbey Demons came out. Wow. That's crazy. I was such a young 16-year-old at this time playing Morrowind. That is just crazy, man. Drops, Infernal Ashes, Abyssal Wand. Where are you? Rare, Abyssal... Did I pass it? Abyssal Wand. Abyssal Whip. When did Abyssal Whips come out? Yeah, so Abyssal Whips came out at the same time. Getting an Abbey Whip drop. Can we see what the price was all time? 2008, it was 1 point. Okay, it doesn't go back any further. But you can see this. Even 2010, actually, yeah, this was chump change 2010, to be perfectly honest. We had Next back then. Yeah, this was like chump change. But was it chump change? You got to ask yourself that question. Was it chump change? Even 2010, that was a big deal. That was like a big deal, getting 4 mil for an Abbey Whip drop. To really close up this podcast, which I'm enjoying these videos so much, and I love you guys so much for watching these videos and also supporting this content as well. You gotta appreciate the old style of RuneScape, because if it wasn't for the old style of RuneScape, the new style of RuneScape would not be here. You gotta appreciate the history throughout the world, whether it's in your country, whatever country you are in. And people have said this to me all the time, and I've talked to people in different countries, obviously. And some people are like, I live in a country, I'm not very patriotic. It doesn't matter what country you come from. You gotta be, it's there. People tend to forget that the government is a separate entity than the country. Every country around the globe has done something wrong. Yes, even America. Every country around the globe has done something wrong. Every country. You got to look at the government as potential. Look at it as like a stock price in the company. Obviously, the stock price is different than the company. You can have a really great company and a terrible stock price. You could have a great stock price and terrible leadership in the company. So it's your country is significantly different. But you gotta appreciate history, and you got to really appreciate the moments on this game that maybe you didn't get to experience. And with Slayer on old school RuneScape, I'm going to experience a lot of those things. I got to end up banging out, I believe it's Monkey Madness 2 for Dark Beast. I know I got to do a quest to unlock Dark Beast on this game. I think it's Morning's End Part 2. Did I say Monkey Madness 2? No, I did Monkey Madness 2. Did Dragon Slayer 2. You got to do Morning's End Part 2, I think. Otherwise, I'm feeling good. This podcast might be a little shorter, but I'm going to leave this podcast on that note. You got to appreciate the old things on RuneScape, because if it wasn't for the old things, the new things wouldn't be around. I love you all. Thank you so much for subscribing. Think about subscribing if you haven't done so. New podcast this Saturday. Hopefully everyone has a great Thursday, pasta Thursday, whatever you're going to eat. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday. Later.